guys, Jamie here. So today I just wanted to talk about the big debate online in the high carb, low fat world, and that is what is superior, fruit or starch, okay? And it's kind of a complicated, well, it's not a complicated question, but you know, context does matter. And what matters to me the most is that what you eat is high carb, low fat, okay? Because we run on carbohydrates, aka sugar. We do not run on fat, okay? That has been a lie, and that lie has been, you know, spread for decades and decades. And you just have to pay attention, guys, to the things that we have learned throughout our life. You got to follow the money, and you know, you really have to use discernment and critical thinking when it comes to the information that you take in and where it's coming from, the studies, what you read, because you have to understand that this is all a business and people make money off of sick people, okay, not healthy people. So I know that's really hard for a lot of people to grasp, is that we've been lied about fat and carbohydrates, okay? Carbohydrates have been demonized, aka sugar, because that's what carbs are, sugar. And everyone freaks out about that word sugar, and everyone thinks that the reason everyone's sick, you know, is because of sugar. And they'll label things like cookies and donuts and cakes and whatever as all sugar. It's not all sugar. There's a whole oil industry. There's copious amounts of fat and oil in all those foods, and somehow that oil industry just got a huge pass. No one talks about the oil industry. No one talks about fat. You know, and why is that? Because guys, we've been lied to about this, and I know it's really hard for some people to grasp that. That, you know, certain industries, not industries, but institutions that we thought we can wholeheartedly trust, that I thought I could trust, and you know, you have to come to this realization that a lot of things have been a lie. It's not an easy thing to you know, a conclusion to come to, you know. But the sooner you know the truth, the better off you'll be, the better off your life will be, the healthier you'll be. And yeah, so we don't run on fat, guys. We run on carbohydrates. And I'm not saying not to eat fat or not eat protein, but you don't want to eat fat and carbs together, okay? Processed foods, fast foods. And there's a reason for that. For one, we don't run on fat, but when you have fat and carbs together, the fat ends up blocking the sugar from getting into our cells, okay? And this creates insulin resistance. And then you'll have blood sugar issues that can lead to prediabetes, diabetes, also to energy issues, mood issues, sleep issues, cognitive function issues, a whole host of problems. So yeah, if you're gonna eat protein and fat, have it for the end of the day and focus on your carbohydrates for the, you know, the beginning of the day, breakfast and lunch. But yeah, anyways, kind of got a little sidetracked there, but we run on sugar, carbohydrates, the same thing. And so the most important thing to me when it comes to starch or fruit is, for one, you want to get in high carb, low fat foods. That's very, very important just for you to function as a human being. So that's the most important thing, and also to meeting your caloric needs. And I'm not saying to track calories, okay? I don't track calories, but everyone's out there calorie restricting. I do the complete opposite. I load up on food, on carbohydrates all day long, as much as I want, when I want. And if I had to guess, I get, depending on the day, I get anywhere from like probably 2,200 to 3,000 calories a day. There's a lot of people out there who are trying to restrict, and they're eating 1,000 calories a day, 1,200, 1,500. Full grown, especially women, not so much men, but women. Full grown women need way more calories than that to sustain themselves, to have a good mood, to have energy, all that stuff, okay? Cognitive function, and also to keep you lean, because carbs don't make you fat. Fat makes you fat, okay? So those are the two most important things. So then if I had to, so context matters. So if I had an abundance, as much fruit as I could care for, and starch, fruit wins for me. And I'm gonna tell you why. Fruit, we are made up of over 70% water. So that is indicative right there. It tells you what we should be consuming most of our calories from. Is fruit. Fruit is made up of mostly water, so it offers the hydration that the human body needs, and so it's hydrating, okay? It also has all the vitamins and minerals. It has antioxidants, which are very important in today's world, and fruit also has it's antiviral, antibacterial, And a lot of reasons why people are sick today, have symptoms, is not just because they're eating the wrong food, but we can get symptoms from viruses, from bacteria. And that creates a lot of suffering for people that a lot of people are not aware of, okay? And so fruit is so important. Fruit, vegetables, greens, but fruit primarily, because fruit has all the glucose in it, which is what we need, which is what we run on. So yes, of course, eat vegetables and greens and stuff like that. And I recommend like raw honey and maple syrup, stuff like that. But fruit, okay, it has the full package. Fruit is what's going to make you look younger too. Everyone's concerned about looking young, not just, you know, being lean and thin and feeling good, but people want to look young as well. And if you want to look young for your age, you need to eat fruit, and you need to eat lots of it, okay? So fruit is always going to win for me. If I had an abundance of fruit and starch, fruit wins for me. I personally love raw till 4 because you get the best of both worlds. You get all that hydration, nutrition, all the benefits from fruit that you really truly do want and that your body needs. You really do, okay? And then what I like raw till 4 is then you still get to have your starchy meal at night. You know, my preference is a high carb, low fat starchy meal, but you know, I do enjoy like a little bit of avocado with that as well. But you really want to keep it high carb, low fat, okay? And you get to have your rice or your potatoes, or if you want to have oats at night, you know, whatever it is. So that is my preference, okay? Now, there is reasons why starch works as well too, though. For one, it's, you know, for most people, starch is way more comforting. You know, it's more exciting for people. And people do want to have excitement in their life when it comes to food. And we want to be comforted. You know, it's perfectly normal and totally human to want to be comforted. Like, life is hard. And a lot of people have bad memories, maybe some PTSD or trauma. And we want to eat things that are comforting, that help us feel safe and secure in this world, especially today. So, you know, starches have that benefit to them. And plus, they're widely accessible. Okay, you can find them anywhere. And they're also probably the cheapest thing, the cheapest food that you can get on this planet, I think. Yeah, I would say. Like oats I can get for $2 a bag at Walmart still. So, you know, it does have its you know, benefits for sure. But you know, it is cooked, it is dehydrating, so there's also that. So I'm just saying that I think raw till 4 is the perfect balance, because you get all the benefits from fruit and then have your comforting, very satiating, you know, fun meal at night with starches. And it's great because that will lower the cost of your grocery bill, you know, eating some starches at night. And if you want to have, like, you know, some fat and protein, you know, you have it with your last meal of the day, okay? And that way, all that, because if you eat fat and protein all throughout the day with your carbs, you're not going to get those sugars into the cell like you need to, okay? You're not going to have as good of a mood, as good of energy. Like I said, you'll have a little bit of insulin resistance, and you know, these are things that we don't want. So have your protein or fat or whatever it is that you like or that you eat, and you have it at the end of the day, okay? And a lot of people like to have those with their starches. So yeah, that's kind of the big debate, guys. And I will always, you know, say I would rather have a diet that's mainly fruit. That's my preference. That's what I would recommend. And yeah, so... But yeah, guys, so that's my video for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll be back again for another video. Thanks, guys. Bye.